impurities. And then it has silica sand that filters out your heavy metal and softens your water. And then the system has mineral stones that help regulate the water, acid, and alkaline balance. And it releases oxygen and adjusts the pH of the water. And sorry. Then it has a magnetic tap where the water comes out that improves the cellular absorption of the water into the cells of your body. Our Pymag Waterfall gives you iodized water. It's very hydrating and energizing. It makes your water alkaline. And it is a wonderful tasting water, just like the spring water that I had when I was a child, going back quite a few years since I'm 75 now. And I want to emphasize that in NECAN, we do not diagnose or treat any illnesses, but this is wonderful to help you in your overall body health and keeping you hydrated, which is very important in this season of the coronavirus to help your immune system.
I'm glad you said that, Shirley. You know, our immune system, really, the lymph system is what takes care of us when we come in contact with a virus or bacteria or anything like that, a pathogen. And the lymph system, our products are great for the lymph system because the lymph system is a passive system and it's fluid. It looks like water, but if you're not hydrated, then your lymph system can't appropriately work. In fact, when your lymph system is not working well, or you're not hydrated, you don't have enough T cells and you don't have enough cytokines. So staying hydrated is one of the things that you can control that will support your immune system and support your health. Now, we're certainly not saying that you won't get coronavirus and there is no treatment for it. But if you support your immune system, then you know that your system's going to function the best that it can. I love this water. My autoimmune disorder lived primarily in my gut. And when I started drinking this water, I saw a huge change. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'll have to start my little experiment now before we go on to something else. But this is a filter that's already lived out its life. And we've got it here. And what I'm going to do to show you how strong this filter is that I'm going to take some red wine and pour it into the top. And I'm going to let it sit there. And then this is the same filter that is in this machine. And the filter is 5 stages of filtration. And the last filter it goes through is 0.01 microns, which is the size of a filter on a kidney dialysis machine. So it gets out all the bad stuff, the trace elements there that make it taste good, and it's magnetized so you absorb it well. But I want you to see what it'll do with this. Now, I'm not always the most graceful person, so it'll be interesting to see what I do this. Because it will filter through the wine. I'm also going to show you something else. One of the filters in that has these reflective filters. And when you're here, I let people touch this. This is alumina and silica. And I put an ice cube on it. I don't know how well this is going to show. And I've got an ice cube on this. It might have been better if that wasn't a white plate, but we got what we got.
Higher.
Higher? Okay. Okay. Well, I think they saw the ice on that one. Can you see the ice on that one?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Let me put the piece of ice on my hand. Is it ice now?
Yes.
Okay. So we know that from now on we use something cold. And this is the piece of ice. They're both the same size when it started. And this is the one that is on the silica. So water is huge in keeping yourself hydrated. We also have our water bottle. And with this, you can pour water right in the top. And this tiny little filter is actually the same filter that is in this, except that last year they updated it and they put in a filter that takes out plastic particles. It's a nano filter. And this bottle is BPA free, but be very clear, there are all different kinds of plastic particles. And this nano, it filters down to 2 nanoparticles. Can you see that better?
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect. I'll put that there. Down to 2 nanoparticles and takes out microbes. So I have one of these with me all the time because mostly when I'm thinking about every day getting rid of this, I don't want to drink chlorine. Chlorine and chloramine are carcinogens, and they're in all of tap water, and they're in most of the bottled water you buy. Now, this water is the most cost-effective water you'll ever get, and right now the water filter itself is on sale 20% off. So you can, so a customer can get it for under $300, but you can get the water pack, and in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you the shower system. If you get the water pack, you get one of these bottles, you get this, you get a shower head, and you get filters for all 3 of those. And it is, when you buy those all together, you get it 10% off of retail, which you pay for all of these. But you also right now will get, if you're a customer, you get $50 back. And if you're a consultant, you get 50 Nikken rewards. So now is absolutely till the end of the month the best time if people don't have a water pack. Because a lot of people don't think about it, but the amount of chlorine that you get when you shower is the amount that you would get if you drank 30 glasses of water. So one of my good friends was saying the other day, he said, I think we really ought to tell people they ought to start with the shower head because they'll cut out more chlorine there and then go to the water system. But right now you can get the whole pack and get it at a great savings. So our little experiment's moving along here. And this is the size of the water, of the ice that is on the alumina silica plate. And look at this one. It's still pretty big. So alumina and silica particle work on the far infrared energy in your body. And we have insoles and wraps and things. And when you put those on parts of your body where you have discomfort, just like what you saw there, if you could feel this plate's very, very cold, much colder than this is, but it's melting it. It's using that energy. And you can use that energy to help decrease discomfort. And I have found myself, if I have a boo-boo, and I wear something like that, the boo-boo seems to heal up faster. So when you're able to be close by with us, I'd love for you to play with some of those. All right, and I want to talk to you some about our nutritionals. And Betty, you were going to tell us about one of my favorite, which is lactoferrin.
Yes, okay. I just started taking this about a month ago. It's a naturally iron binding, which studies have shown to have a positive effect on iron absorption, blood iron levels, and digestive issues. Our formulation also contains organic inulin, ginger, turmeric, and rhodiola, which a combination that promotes good gut bacteria and has antioxidant effects and anti-inflammatory properties that support our overall health. And also it's lactose-free, gluten-free, and GMO-free. And this is what's in a mother's milk also. So you know how healthy it is for newborn babies to have that.
Well, you know what? Lactoferrin is in mother's milk. So you know it's pretty important for God to have put it there. It really stimulates the immune system. It's one of my favorite products. I usually take one a day. And when I first started with Nikken, I took about 4 to 6 a day. The physician that I was working with recommended I do that. And my gut health improved immensely. So I usually do 1. I'll tell you that whenever I go out now, I take 2. And whenever I hop on an airplane, I take 2 before I hop on and 2 before I hop off. You can't overdose on it. It's a food, but it is great for the immune system. And right now there's no way I wouldn't have it here, because if I ever start feeling poorly, that's my go-to. If I take 2 of these, and then the other thing I always take is my immunity. Immunity is 14 different types of mushrooms. Mushrooms provide some of the best support for the immune system that's available. They're also wonderful at being anticarcinogenic. Now, we don't say that we do anything with cancer, but I'll tell you what, that's 14 different kinds of mushrooms. And there's a book called The Health Benefits of Medicinal Mushrooms, and it's by Mark Strangler, who is a naturopathic physician. And he goes through how mushrooms help poorly functioning immune system, improve outcomes of serious illness such as cancer and hepatitis, support kidney and liver function, improve cardiovascular function, and help treat a variety of other conditions. And this gentleman even talks about the Nikken product, Our Immunity, as being, I don't know if he calls it the Cadillac of mushroom supplements that is out there. And you just need to take 2 a day. Now, I had a friend that had cancer years ago, and she took 9 of them a day. She was working with a naturopath, and he had her do extra ones. Again, these are things that you can't overdose on. So for me, I take about 6 when I head on an airplane and about 6 when I get off, because I've always known way before the coronavirus that when you're up there, you're sharing that air with everybody else up there, and anybody that's up there that is sick. In fact, a friend of mine, Linda Morris, who's a Nikken consultant, when she first got into Nikken, she was a airline attendant. And she was telling me the other day that one of her friends she flew with died from the coronavirus on Tuesday.
Oh, God.
Those people that are still flying, unfortunately, people are still moving around with this. So these are 2 things, and anybody can take them. I gave the lactoferrin to my little grandson when he was 9 months old and was running a high fever. I knew he had a ear infection, and we couldn't get him to the doctor for certain reasons. I put 2 of those. I emptied them out into his formula. He drank it in 15 minutes. His fever broke. He stopped crying. He stopped pulling on his ear, and that was the end of that. So these things are amazing. J Green barley grass is also a go-to product. You know, right now, if you're at home and you're not getting enough greens, if you're doing the J Green barley grass, you take 4 capsules a day, or you take, I guess it's a teaspoon a day of this. And it will provide you all that you need from greens, but it does a whole lot more. This product, if you're gluten intolerant, it's safe for you. It's harvested before the gluten formulates. The gentleman who developed the way that we do this did it that way. He was actually a chemist and owned a pharmaceutical company and got heavy metal poisoning. And he used this to chelate out the heavy metals. It has all the amino acids that you can't make for yourself. In fact, there's only 2 substances that can be called whole foods because you could live off them. And one of those is barley grass, and the other one is spirulina. And so this is really a go-to. It is a natural diuretic, but it will boost up your immune system. And I say that right now with this coronavirus going on, that these 3 supplements right here can do more to boost up your immune system than anything else that I can think of encouraging you to use. And some of you saw me mix up my Kensington 4, which is our matcha green tea. And Roger Brummer, who's one of my very favorite herbalists, he's worked with a lot of people, including Mick Jagger. He says that when you use matcha tea with these other supplements, that it actually makes them exponentially work harder. So every morning I start out with my J Green barley grass tea. Now I want to see if I've got clear water. Oh, and I do. Okay. It's not all through yet, and I don't know how well you'll see it, but can you see the clear water dancing around in there?
Yeah.
Okay, that came from my putting red wine in the top of this filter and letting it filter through.
And it's an old filter.
And it's an old filter. It's one that I've already stopped using, and that's why it's there. So do you think, and if you were here, I'd let you taste it, because Renzo was the first person that wanted to taste the water. And he tasted it, and it does not have any taste of alcohol in it. And all the red is gone. Now, a lot of people ask me, why in the heck would you want to turn wine into water? You should be turning water into wine. And it is Easter weekend, and I'm saying Jesus turned water into wine, and Kimball can turn wine into water. So it's nothing to do with growing up Baptist. I don't know. The last nutritional I'm going to talk to you about is the KVB. And I love this product because I released 30 pounds last year between July and Thanksgiving. And it really had to do with using this shake mix and our other things. And I have kept every bit of that weight off. I have not gained back any of it. And I just haven't been motivated to do what I need to do to go a little bit further. I guess I'm kind of happy where I'm at. But this has so much nutritional value. It has more nutrition than you will find from any other shake. And on about the middle of this month, we're going to be launching a new shake mix, and it's going to be organic. And it's going to exceed the standards of any shake mix on the market. We truly will be. I don't know that Cadillac is good enough. I'm going to say that we're going to be the Ferrari of shake mixes. I absolutely can't wait for it. But you know, you can use this 1 to 2 times. It has medium chain triglycerides, so it is great. My father, almost 85 years old, he's been using it every day ever since this came out. So that'd be about 4 years. For the first 6 months, he was a research scientist. He would use it a couple of days and then not use it a couple of days, and he would write the results. He said, it is definitely helping with my memory. And now he's up to using it at lunchtime too, because he's realizing he's not getting enough protein. So one of the things your immune system needs is 60 grams of protein a day. Now, I don't care if you don't want to eat meat. That is perfectly fine. That is a choice. But if you're not eating meat, you've got to be, it's a little bit harder to get the protein in. I don't know how you would do it without using some kind of protein shake, because you really need 60 grams a day. That's what your brain needs. And when you go below that, your brain is not going to function as well. But I love this because usually I do 2 of these shakes a day. That's 40 grams. So I know that I'm always going to hit that 60 grams. So that is, and like I said, when this is all over, or if somebody were on here and wanted a sample, I'd be happy to send you one. At this point, you probably want to wait, well, probably about a week away from the new one coming out if things didn't get slowed down with this virus. But that is great. The other thing I want to show you when we're in here is I want to show you our air system, because people are thinking a lot more about what's in the air now. And when you look at this, and I'm going to, at the top, you see that blue light that is glowing? That is an air sensor. And because it's glowing the blue, we know that it's clear. Now, I have one in my office when I see patients. I'm going to carry this, see if I can get this to go back. No, I want it to go down to 1. Okay. So I've put it on automatic. And so it glows like that. I have it by my office chair because when things come in, let's see if this will work. It realizes this isn't a virus. The old machines, let me try this. I know it's got dust in it. This thing's
Get
old.
hairspray.
Yeah, go get the hairspray. With the older machines, whenever we did the powder, it would pick it up. But I mean, this knows that that's not any kind of, but I bet the hairspray will work.
It will, because I do it all the time when I'm getting ready.
See. Well, I'm not really sure why it's not changing.
Goodness.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't, oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes.
We missed it.
Do you see it? Do you see it going red?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't have it on auto. That's what I wanted to have it on. So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's revving up.
You can't hear it, but you can see it.
Yeah. And so what it'll do is it will keep processing till it processes that out. So I keep one of these right beside my chair in my office where I see clients. And the reason is people come to see you and they don't care that they're sick. In fact, I learned it was either last week or later in the week before, that I have at least come in contact with coronavirus. I had a patient that came to see me and he told me he had the flu. And then 2 days later, he was in the coronavirus unit at Rex. And so people come to see you and they don't make good decisions, which is why I'm seeing all of my patients now by video conferencing, because it's just not worth it. But having that there, I know that it's filtering out the bad things that are in the air that I don't want to have. And it will run until it clears that out. And so that is something, if you've got anybody, everybody needs it, because I'll tell you, the air inside a house is much dirtier than the air outside the house. And so by having this, you've improved your health immensely. The other thing you can do, I'll tell you, my mom had COPD, and Kathy knows this. She would take her oxygen off and she would rev this thing up to high and she'd sit there breathing it. And she said it made her lungs feel good. And her O2 sats didn't drop down when she was doing that. And I've sold these to several people who are oxygen dependent. It's a terrible thing to be on oxygen all the time. And
It is.
the system emits negative ions, and those negative ions are very soothing to our breathing. There's also research that shows that negative ions are good for depression. Now, we don't have any evidence that this treats depression, but you know what? If negative ions are helpful for that, it might be good to have that. All right, I'm going to turn off my camera so that you don't get dizzy while I run in to show you the water in the bathroom. Oh, well, I don't want to walk them through the house. Well, they can see everybody else. Okay, here, you got to hold this. All righty.
So while she's going through getting set up, I'm going to tell you a joke that I told them that my niece posted on Facebook this morning. She works for the local sheriff's department. And she said, if you all will notice this morning that the temperature went from 70 to 30, just like it had seen a state trooper.
Resemble that thought. Well, right here is one of our shower heads, and there are two different types. There's one that you can just screw on, but where we bought this house, it had this rather elaborate setup, and so one of the screw-ons says we don't like, and Jeff really likes this kind better. But this filter has something called microbubble technology. So if you know someone who has a skin condition, this technology is great for that. I'm going to try to turn this on and not take a shower at the same time. But I'm going to have it go over my hands, and you will notice, I hope you can see, the water is sort of absorbed into it. If you take just regular tap water and put it on you, it tends to bubble up. But this water, by the microbubbles, it changes the tension that is in the water. And so when you use it, it really softens the skin. And a lot of times I'll have people touch my skin because I don't use lotions. And they are always amazed. They're always amazed with how soft my skin is. The other thing is, I dye my hair, and if any of you have been on Facebook, you probably saw that my new color specialist is my husband. He dyed my hair for me this week. But, you know, that's hard on your hair. But using that technology, it keeps my hair so very soft, and I really like that. The other things I use that are great for my hair are the Tri-Phase shampoo and conditioner. And these two products are really great for your scalp health. And when I started using them, I was amazed at the difference in my hair and my scalp. For people that have psoriasis or people that have dandruff, they've noticed a big change. I've had several people that really felt like their hair was thicker afterwards. They just said that, and these two, I think, are the two best products that I've ever used on my hair. And they have lots of different technologies in them. They have silica, and they have magnetic particles, and it's just amazing what they can do for you.
Even Nacho uses it.
Yes, even Nacho uses it. And Sandy, the lady that we got him from, what she found was when we carried him back to visit her, she said, "What'd you do to his hair? His hair is so soft. His hair was always wiry and yucky." And I said, well, we bathe them in that. Well, she is a cancer survivor. She says, well, I wonder what it would do for me. So she started using it on her hair and started using it on the animals. Now, the other things that I love that we have are, I love our skincare products. And this is our Velvet Cleansing Milk. And I love it because I can rub it right on my eyes and take off my eye makeup as well as all of my other makeup. And then we have a refreshing tonic lotion. It doesn't have any alcohol in it, but once you wash your face, you want to get the pH back to where it was before you washed it. And that is good for that. We have this youth activity serum. Now, this is the best product ever. I'll tell you two little blemishes I have is one is I've had this wrinkle in between my eyes from squinting right over my third eye since I was in high school. And using this, it is less visible than it ever has been. The other thing I've got is I've got some sort of little dry patch of skin on my nose that the dermatologist swears is not a skin cancer. But when I use this, that completely goes away. You only have to use it at night. And I notice a huge difference in my wrinkles as I age. During the day, I'm using the True Elements Nourishing Cream. I love that. It's fairly thick. You don't have to use a whole lot, but when I put on it, it just keeps my skin very, very, very moist. So these are the things that are in our bathroom that make up the wellness home. And so I'm going to turn off the camera. You guys talk to them. And the next time you'll see me, you'll get to see what we do for sleep.
I just want to say something about the water. I had a problem with my skin last summer, and it seems like I could never get it healed up. And we didn't have a dermatologist in town that I liked. I tried every cream, every itch formula, everything under the sun. And I heard an audio about somebody had a horse that had an injury, and they put this water on it. So I started putting my water out of my Pymag waterfall on this place on my arm, and it healed up. I could not believe it. So this water is awesome.
You might want to push it up a little bit closer. There we go. Oh, now it's turned off. All right. Here we go. Well, welcome to my bedroom. So, what is my very favorite Nikken product? It's got to be the sleep system. I'll tell you that's this little guy's favorite too. He absolutely loves being on magnets. So what makes up the sleep system? Well, the sleep system, we have our mattress pad that you could put it on a plank as far as that goes, or you could put it over your mattress springs, or you could lay it on top of the mattress that you already have. And it has magnets that are positioned so it stimulates all the acupressure points in the body, and you sleep amazingly well. And then there's this beautiful white comforter. And the white comforter has the reflective ceramic particles in it, and that regulates your temperature. Now, sleep is extraordinarily important for your immune system. And you need really 8 to 9, but 7 to 8 is a minimum, not to have negative things happening in your body. So this is just amazing. One of my favorite things at night is to lay down on this mattress and pull this comforter up to me. And then I sleep. I have my Nikken pillow. And we even have the far infrared pillowcase. When they came out with that, I thought, how can that make things better? But this pillowcase also has these reflective particles. And when your head is warm or your head is cool, it makes a huge difference. If you can cool your head down, the rest of your body is good. Or if you warm your head up. And so when I sleep on this at night, I find out that I sleep much deeper. I even dream more. Now I've got my other little things up here that I utilize too. Here is my grounding pad. You might have heard me, you got on early enough, talking to Melissa about, Melissa is a counselor like I am in my other life. And when I sleep on one of these actually I sleep on two. I sleep on one that is under my legs, and I have one that I wrap around my body. I told you earlier that I had an autoimmune disorder in my gut. So I'm always thinking about what I can do to promote my gut health. But this is amazing. Then during the day, I take it down and I put it under my feet while I'm seeing my clients on the computer. The grounding pad, when you're on a grounding pad, it's like you're taking in handfuls of antioxidants. And so it really decreases the inflammation in your body. And that's so important to keeping yourself healthy. Now, another thing I use at night is this sleep mask. I wear it every single night and I love it. And for us women that are always thinking about those little wrinkles around our eyes, this has little magnets that go all around. And it doesn't have anything to do with Nika, but there's research out there about wearing magnets around these areas at night can decrease the wrinkles. And as we age, we women don't like to have as many, we want to have as few wrinkles as we can. The other thing is the pineal gland is right up here, and it also can stimulate it. So what you're looking for is to have the deepest night's sleep that you can have. A lot of times at night, I use our CM cream. I mean, it's one of my go-to things because this is the best cream that I have ever used for discomfort. Wherever I hurt, if I rub it on, it feels better. So a lot of times I'll rub a little bit on my neck and all at night just to kind of get myself, I call it WD-40 for the body. So I put that so that I'm nice and relaxed. Another thing I use a lot at night is my Kinko Touch that I very nicely call Thumper. And I don't know if you all can hear it thumping or not, but it goes dud, 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 dud. I can use that. Some weeks ago, I did something to my shoulder. I'm not exactly what. I have a feeling that it was a partial tear in my rotator cuff. But I use the Nikken tape, and I use this. And I actually used it when I was seeing clients that week because I was in a lot of pain. But all I had to do was take that and hold it up and run it for 10 minutes, and my discomfort decreased, and I was fine for, probably another 2 hours, and then it would kind of start spasming and bothering me again, and I would use this again, and after about a day of doing that, it decreased and the discomfort went away. So I love the sleep system. So this kind of, Jeff wants me to show you this. This is the power chip, and these are little magnets that you can put anywhere. Now, I'll tell you that inside my bra, I've always got one on either side that helps promote the flow of the lymph, and then I wear one right down here by my heart as well. So these are one of my favorite, and they're great. You can take them and take them on anywhere. He also wants me to show you the necklace. Now, I am wearing a necklace. He didn't have to show you that one. I've got on a pretty necklace today. I always wear my magnetic necklace because it helps keep my neck nice and fluid. My chiropractor is always amazed at how easy he can adjust me. In fact, I saw him on Thursday and he said, "You're pretty amazing." He said, "You adjust so easy for me." And then this is the one, women can wear them too. It's a sport one. This is kind of what I wear when I work out. Jeff wears these all the time. So we have lots of products, but when you live in a wellness home, when you create your wellness home, you've created a place. It's like if you had an orchid, would you have left it outdoors last night?
No.
No, because you would want it to be in a place that it was well cared for, the right temperature, all those things. Well, that's what a wellness does for you. It creates, I say, a greenhouse for the body. So this completes our wellness home tour. So I want to know what questions you have, and I also want to have some feedback. Don't usually sit in my bedroom talking to people about stuff like this, but I'd like to have feedback.
That's my favorite part is how you ended up in bed, Kimball.
Well, it's one of my favorite places to sit.
You could use that as a commercial. If you want to end up in bed with, then I think.
Well, I don't know if you all have seen it, but out on the web, there's a really funny video that Nick in Europe made. And it's a woman and a man and kids and a dog, and I believe there's a grandparent in there too. And the woman looks at the man and says, maybe for Christmas, we should get everybody their own Nikin mattress.
I think I've actually seen that one. No, it was pretty cute.
That's good.
I had to put it up. It just appealed to my sense of humor.
That's good.
I think it was really good. I think this is great that you're doing this. And I think it's cool too, because like maybe even when things go back to normal, you could still have something like this going so that people that don't want to travel to Fuquay or something like that, you know, could still see your wellness home, you know, presentation.
Absolutely. And I'd love for you, more of you that are consultants that are on today to tell about the products too, because it's more fun when more people say things. And Patricia, you're one of my customers. I'm curious what you thought about it.
Well, I definitely enjoyed going from the kitchen to the bathroom and to the bedroom. I was expecting to end back up in the back in the kitchen with a cup of tea or something. But it definitely shows that Nikin products will help you with all areas in your home and in your life. And I really like when you said create your wellness home, and that's exactly what you showed us this morning, is a well-rounded wellness home.
Yeah,
it was great.
You know, that's one of the things I love about Nikin is there's a lot of good products out there, and there's products I buy from other companies. But Nikin does a better job of creating an environment for you to live in that you stay healthier. I mean, create the whole thing. And all of us, even now when we're home, I didn't have to worry about where I was going to get water from when, you know, in the beginning there was no water on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
People bought bottled water, but I have to worry about that. I've got my water. You know, when it comes to the nutritionals, one of my meals is gone every day and probably two most days. I mean, you know, you have to sleep anyway. I'm sleeping on a sleep system that promotes your health. You know, the air I'm breathing, I know that I'm taking out as much of the they used to tell that the filter met requirements for the bird flu when that was going around back in 2006. That was one of the things. And it's a matter of particles per square inch that it processes. So I mean, all of these, you know, Nikin just does it better than most other places, and I don't have to think about it. You know, if you walk around, sleep, drink water, eat, Nikin has got products that help you have better health. And you know, right now, for a long time, people have just kind of, I say they drank the Kool-Aid, that there was always a pill that could take care of anything. And the truth is, there's not always a pill. And if there was, we wouldn't all be cooped up in our houses. You know,
Sometimes they make it worse.
Right.
Or add a new problem.
Well, you know, a lot of times they give you a pill and then that has side effects, so they give you another pill for it. You know, Melissa and I are both in mental health. I'm a little bit older than she is. When I worked in the state hospitals, we were always so concerned because we were using something called antipsychotics with our patients that were living in mental hospitals all the time that had schizophrenia. And it caused tardive dyskinesia, which, you know, they can treat it, but they can't cure it. And it's a terrible thing. I mean, you get involuntary movements of your mouth and all of these different things. And then over the course of the last 10 years, they decided it was a good idea to use those same antipsychotics for depression and all kinds of other things. And now we've got the highest numbers in people that are functional. Now, we worried, 20 years ago about people in state hospitals that were never coming out and how it affected their quality of life. And now we've got people that live basically normal lives with these same kinds of side effects. I mean, medications, and I'm not completely anti-medication. I would probably be very happy when they come out with an antibody solution for this to take those antibodies if when I'm tested, I don't show any. I don't know what's going to, like I said, I know I have been exposed to it. Whether I'd have was exposed enough to get any antibodies. I don't know. But you know, what we have are something that everybody needs, but they can only know about it if we share it. You know, that's what NECAN basically pays us to do. And one of the things that I'm starting that you all may think about is I'm starting to do what I call mine is going to silent. It's a referral program. So people that don't want to sign up and be consultants, but share the products, say if they share a water system with someone, then and the person, and they connected with me and the person buys it, I'll give them a cash gratuity for referring that person to me. I will still make money off of it. I won't make as much, but it's a way for them to be rewarded for sharing the product. Because that's really what in NECAN we're paid for, is to set up distribution networks. And like I said, everybody knows what we're going through right now. There's never been a time that the world needed NECAN as much as we do. And I'm going to put a plug in tonight. Some of you have been to Humans Being More and some of you haven't. But every Tuesday night now, because we're always called the Humans Being More Company, but there's a half-hour call, and our Chancellor of Education at NECAN runs a Humans Being More class. It's virtual, but each week we have a homework assignment and something to do. And then it's really all about personal development. So, and that is open to anyone. So if you know someone who likes personal development, or, you know, I think everybody needs something to boost themselves up. That's at 8 o'clock every Tuesday night. And once we come out of hibernation, we will start having the 2-day Humans Being More classes again. I just went down to Georgia, and that was really a 3-day or 2.5 days. And I'm really hoping that my next one will be one like that again, because it was, I've done Humans Being More. That would have been 25 for me, but that was the best one that I have ever been to. There was something really special about doing that. That this really, I mean, it's called a camp, but it's really like, camp is not the right word. They're luxury. That would definitely be glamping, because it was luxury cabins. It was absolutely amazing, and the area that we did it in. So stay tuned and listen for that. And if any of you all have any other feedback that you'd like to send me, please do. I hope you all have a wonderful Easter weekend. Is anything else anybody wants to share before we call it a day?
I just saw this on Facebook. If you thought toilet paper was crazy, just wait until 300 million people want their hair and nails done at the same time.
Very true.
Very true. Very true.
Pimple's ahead of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go
Got the
see
color
Jeff.
done. I'm hoping I don't have to resort to him cutting it, but it will really depend on how much longer we're in. My hair has not been cut since the 3rd week of January, because my beautician had to have surgery, and I had gone 2 months without it being cut, and then they cut off her services. And I want to tell you how crazy some things are, because a friend of mine wanted to see if he could get her to come and cut his hair at his home. And I contacted her because they don't live very far apart. Now, a liquor store is essential.
Right.
Filter is essential. If she cuts anyone's hair and she gets turned in, she faces a possible 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine, and 2 years of her license revoked.
Good. God.
Places.
Now, I'm not trying to bash men or anything, but let's just figure who goes to get their hair done all the time and who goes to the liquor store.
Right. Look, all the women are going to be at the liquor store if they're rich hanging out like that. This might be the liquor stores with this idea.
Well, I hear that the liquor store business is booming.
I bet it is.
That's so funny you said that, because my son and I were talking about when they keep doing these things.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and you have a very happy Easter.
Bye.
Y'all
Happy
too.
Easter, everybody.
Bye-bye.